everyone, and welcome to this month's Tech Tuesday. We actually have a pretty exciting Tech Tuesday this month where we're going to be going over Conference Tracker 9.0 updates. We're going to be going over what's new, what we've been working on for the past few months, and that was recently released into Conference Tracker. Today's presenters will be myself, Chad Blodgett, the Business Development Manager here at Engineerica Systems, as well as Garrett Effers, our Software Support Representative. We also have a special guest, Kimberly Brooks, who's going to be talking about her event and how she uses Conference Tracker as well. Now, if this is your first Tech Tuesday with us, we do this every third Tuesday at 1 Eastern. Kind of how the Tech Tuesdays goes, we talk about any type of Conference Tracker announcements first. Then we do our Tech Talk, which today will be on the 9.0 release. And at the very end, we will do a Q&A session right after our user spotlight with Kimberly Brooks. Now, before we begin, just to let everyone know that today's presentation is being recorded. We are going to email all registrations the recording of today's Tech Talk so that you can watch it again, or you can send it to anyone else that may have missed today's presentation. Now, as you probably have noticed, everyone is going to be muted just to kind of keep the background noise down to a minimum. But during the presentation, if at any time you have a question, a comment, you can actually go ahead and submit your questions into the chat. And the way that you do that, if you click on that little red or orange arrow next to questions, you'll be able to then enter your question into that box. Now, we may answer your questions live, or we may wait until the end where the Q&A section to answer those questions. Now we're going to get into our first new feature in Conference Tracker. So this is probably the most requested feature that I can think of over the past year or so, and it's going to be session proposals. So now you're going to be able to manage your session proposals from start to finish. So you're going to be able to create a session proposal form. You're then going to be able to share that proposal form to your presenters or potential presenters. And then that's going to allow you to view the submissions, review, accept, or reject those proposals. So Garrett's going to take you through that process, but it's a way to manage your session proposals. And then we're going to talk about how we then can create that schedule from those submissions. Now, traditionally, what you had to do in Conference Tracker is you basically did your session proposals outside of Conference Tracker, and then you create a list. You then imported your session list into Conference Tracker. You'll still be able to do that, but what this does is now we're bringing that tool into Conference Tracker, so you don't have to outsource that particular feature from another product. And now it's going to be fully integrated into your event. Now, what the schedule builder is going to do is once you have accepted those proposals, you're then going to be able to drag and drop those sessions into the time slots and into the rooms for your event. So they're going to be listed, all your accepted proposals are going to be listed on that screen. You're then going to be able to just simply drag and drop into the section and create that itinerary right through a Conference Tracker. Now, one of the neat thing is that once you have accepted those sessions and you've dropped them into your schedule, it's going to automatically create the sessions and the presenter accounts for you. So again, no import of sessions. You don't have to worry about importing your presenters either. It's going to create those just from dragging and dropping into your schedule. We also built a custom landing page. Now, this is a landing page to promote your event, provide information about your event to your attendees or potential attendees. And we've actually had a landing page for your event for quite a while, but we just created a custom landing page. It's not as limited as the old landing page was. This is also where attendees might go not only to view the information, but to register to your event. And what we did with the custom landing page is we actually created some professional designs and templates that you're going to be able to choose from. So before, it was just basically a big open text box where you add the images, add your links, add your text, whatever you wanted there. But now you're going to be able to choose from some professional templates and designs to make your landing page really stand out. You also can create multiple drafts of your landing page. Now, maybe because you want to see like, which landing page looks the best, and you decide, after creating a couple drafts, which one you want to go with, or maybe, after early bird, you have a new draft that you want to publish instead of the old one. So as your event changes, as things are updated, you're going to be able to choose from the different drafts you've created, and instead of editing the one that you already have. Also, a lot of these components are dynamic. So as they change in your account, for example, like the countdown or um, the session schedule, things like that, as they're being updated in your account, it will automatically dynamically change within your landing page. You don't have to go there and make any changes. You just, again, for example, if you change a session, a date of a session or a time of a session, or a session gets added, within that component, it's automatically going to update for you. You don't have to go into your landing page and make all those individual changes. And as far as like the various components that there are actually 80 different choices in which Garrett is going to take us through. One of the last newer features that we created was an expo package. So we actually have been getting into a lot of expos, a lot of trade shows where maybe attendance tracking isn't totally needed. Maybe they don't do continuing education, they don't need certificates. So there's some features within the basics package that's not needed at an expo or a trade show. So if this is your event, you're actually going to be able to use our new expo package, which allows things like attendee and exhibitor registration, exhibitor booth selection during the registration process, badge generation with the QR code on your badge. That will allow your exhibitors then to use our lead retrieval app to scan and collect contact information about the attendee. Exhibitors also can do raffles through the system as well. So again, a new package that takes out some of the other features that is geared towards just the expos and trade shows that need things like registration, badges, and lead retrieval. So now we're actually going to switch over to Garrett, and Garrett's actually going to take us through these new features so you can get a glimpse.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that introduction there, Chad. So of course, like he said, this is Conference Tracker 9.0. We've got a lot of amazing things here, very feature-rich modules that we added. So to go ahead and get us started, right, I'm in my Playground account, just my demo account for us, and we're looking at this from the admin point of view. So first up, we're going to talk about our new session proposals module. That can be found in Conference Session Proposals. And once here, of course, you're going to see you have a bunch of different options. The first thing is going to be to edit the proposal form. Now, when you step in here, you'll notice that we have this kind of pre-built out for you. It's got your typical demographics for your speakers, your presenters, some good questions about the session itself. Give us a description, what's the title, tell us about yourself, the intended audience, things of that nature. Now, some of our older clients and current clients may recognize this form builder is very similar to what you see in your online registration. And it is. You have a lot of your same additions over here on the right-hand side, but the two that are extremely new is going to be this rich text editor and the file uploader. So of course, you can just click these to add them to the bottom of your form. And if we scroll down, you can see the rich text editors, these nice, big, fully customizable text editors here. You've got images, links, of course, your font customizations that we're all used to. And then, of course, I have our file uploader down here. So, of course, there's a 5 megabyte file limit. It's actually pretty big. I know 5 sounds small, but in the terms of, Word documents and PowerPoints and that kind of thing, PDFs, this is actually a pretty big file size. So of course, save your changes whenever you've got your form exactly how you like it. And then it takes us back to this home screen where we have our share button. That's actually a good point. Let me show you how to turn this on. I thought I did that. So in your conference setup, down here near the bottom, you're going to have your enable switch for your session proposals. This is also where you're controlling the registration as well as your attendee and exhibitor access. and of course all the extra features that we have for visibility down here at the bottom. But now that we have it turned on, we can go ahead and step back into session proposals. And we have 3 ways, just like you do with registration, to share this link. So of course, if you want to share it on your socials, if you want to embed it as an iframe within your organization's website, or of course you just have the raw link. If you just want to put this in an email or something like that, that's a great way to get this out to as many people as possible. So super quickly, we're just going to open up this form in a new window just so you can see what it looks like. And here we go. So of course you've got your typical title of your title and subtitle of your event dates, your logo over here. So we're going to go ahead and fill this out as Tony Stark, just as an example to show you all the different features that you have. And we're just going to be Stark at Gmail. Our session title, How to Lead a Tech Industry. And we're just going to give it a quick example sentence because there are certain things that you can mark in this form as required. So they have to give you a session description. Of course, you're going to want a session title, their bio, who's the intended audience. And then we're asking what's their preferred attendance mode. Is this going to be in person? Is this a virtual session? Is it a little bit of both? As well as how long do you think it's going to be? We're going to say 60 minutes, right? It's your typical session length, anywhere from 30 to 60. Our format is just going to be a panel discussion. And of course, if they have any supporting materials that they just want to list out here, as well as any extra technology or equipment that they're going to need. And then we're just asking a couple extra background questions. So have you presented this at other events? Maybe it's a repeated session. Is there any special considerations that we need to be aware of? And then of course, you can upload your session files. So we're just going to go ahead and submit this, and we get our nice pretty thank you. And they can also download their submission as a PDF if they want to keep it for their files or as some sort of receipt, anything like that. But with that done, we're going to go ahead and jump back into our session proposals. And you can see that session proposal is just going to be sitting here pending. Now, like Chad said, you have a couple options here, right? You can accept, you can reject. Of course, we can delete, and we can ask for revision. And each of these do have a different color code, so they're nice and quick. So in this case, we're just going to ask for a revision, and we're going to ask Tony to just be a little more specific in his description. And this is going to send us an email to them. And as we get closer towards the end of this module, I'll show you where those email templates are hidden. So you can see how it changed colors here. It's now black, and we've asked for a revision. Now, once they do respond to that revision, it's going to go back to the pending status for your review, and we're going to choose whether or not we want to accept or reject. In this case, we're going to accept it, just so that you can see that it does timestamp who accepted it and when it was accepted. You can also click in there and see the more specific details about the description and all the questions that you asked. Now, once you have all of your proposals accepted, maybe you've closed your CFP or call for proposals, you then get the option to step into your schedule builder. And this can be done at any time. I know I'm specific with, the end of the CFP, but if you want to, jump ahead of the ball here and you have a couple, but you're still waiting on revisions, we can still jump into this schedule builder and start assigning these sessions to different rooms, different dates. Now, what you'll notice at the top here is we have 2 different types of proposals and items that you'll be seeing. You'll have your sessions that you've already created. So maybe you did a small import of just your breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe your general forum, panel discussions. You've already imported those into the system. Those will show up here in this green color. And then of course, any pending proposals will be this nice blue. Now you do have a couple different views here. If you just want to see something quick, once you've got it done, you can see it in a list. It'll show you the dates and times. You can see it as a day view, so just for the 18th in this view. And then of course you have the week view if you just want to look at everything at once. Now you also have this room filter over here on the side, so if you have multiple rooms and you just want to assign the sessions that go to one room at a time, of course that's an option for you. On my demo account, I only have the one room, so that's why you're only seeing default here under the week, under the day view. Typically the day view will show you different columns for each room that you have. So in this case, we're just going to make sure that we're looking at August, because I was in here playing earlier today. So we'll set this up really quick. Oh, wrong button. 2024. And we're going to do this on the 1st, just so it's nice and easy for us. Perfect. So once you get to this point and you have your day or your week view selected, you can just click the session proposal and drag it over to that proper day. Now it's going to pull up this dialog box here, and it's going to kind of assume your start time based on where you dragged it. It'll have your attendance mode here that you can change, as well as if you want to add any additionals to the name or change the adjustment for the time. In this case, we're just going to have it go till 3 a.m. just for an example, and you'll see here it's blocked out that time. Now, if you change your mind at any time, you can grab one of these doubled bars here and kind of stretch it out if it needs to be longer or if it needs to be shorter. As well, we can drag it to a different day if maybe we made a small mistake, or just delete it entirely, and you'll see it pop up back over here on the right, ready for you. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and leave it in the time block here, and we're going to save our changes. Now, like it says, this is going to convert your proposals into sessions. What it's also going to do is it's going to take all that presenter information, all that demographic information that you asked them in the form, and it's going to turn them into a presenter on your account. So you don't have to worry about creating those presenter accounts afterwards. The system's going to take care of that for you. So we're going to go ahead and submit that, and it's going to take us straight into our sessions. And you can see where that session was created on 2:15 to 5:45, right, Eastern time in the default room. It's been marked as an on-site attendance session. As well, you'll notice if we go to our presenters, there's Mr. Tony Stark. He's already in here. Name, email, his company's already there, his affiliation. Now, once you have all of your sessions and your proposals organized and you've got it all the way that you want it, we've got this nice button here at the top that'll send your presenters an email letting them know, hey, this is the time that your session's been assigned. We look forward to seeing you at the event. So very great option. I love this feature for us. This is going to be an amazing inclusion for all of our organizers, just to have everything in one platform and not have to worry about managing different accounts. Now, we spoke about these emails, so I'm going to show you where those are located. If you scroll all the way down to your advanced options and you click into your settings here, you have the presenter portal settings. This is kind of new. This came out with the last update when we allowed our presenters to come into the system and view their own session evaluations. But you'll notice here there's a new session proposals section. And this is going to control a lot of the different email templates. So of course you have your submission, your thank you for submitting, your acceptance, your rejection, that scheduling details, time slots that we were talking about earlier, and your revision request. Now, one important thing to note for all of our organizers, any potential clients, any older clients, a lot of you may be used to the registration package being where, once you register, that's the only time they can register. You can't have duplicate emails in the system because that's treated as their unique ID. Well, in this case, because you're not charging anything through the session proposals module, you're not taking in any money, regardless of whether or not they've come through your session proposals or if you just manually created them as a presenter, they will also be able to go through your attendee registration if, say, you want to give them a code for 50% off, 75% off registration as a thank you for being a presenter. In this case, it's not going to create two accounts for them. It's just going to slap that attendee role onto their presenter account so that they'll be listed in both places. Now, the next big thing that we had come out that Chad touched on was our custom landing page. Now, I'm sure you noticed when we were looking at setup that that description box has kind of disappeared from where we're used to it being. And this description box used to control what we now refer to as the basic landing page. So if you scroll down here in your setup, you'll notice that you have a landing page type to choose from. You have your basic. This is going to be what you're used to. This is just going to be that description box, of course, like you saw with the rich text editor box. This is going to use an updated version of that text editor so that you have a lot more customization options here. So any of our current clients or anybody that currently has an event going on, whatever you had listed in your description box has been moved to this basic landing page. So you won't have noticed any changes. Your attendees wouldn't have noticed any changes when this update came out. Now, of course, just really quickly here, because it is basic, you do have your save as draft like Chad was talking about if you want to make different drafts for different time periods. You can also view those at any time and switch between those drafts. Of course, you have a quick remove all button. This is going to empty out that description box in case you just want to start fresh, maybe create a new draft. Your preview button, just so you can look at it nice and quickly. And then your finality publish button. So when you're ready for the world to see your amazing landing page, you can click this publish button and go ahead and publish that to the internets. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the custom landing page, because that's why we're all here today, right? Now this custom landing page, of course, you do want to enable it, save and continue editing, just so this is going to be your live one. And when you come into here, you're going to notice that same type of description box, because again, it's just a text editor, right, that we've updated and we're using in multiple places. So just to give you an idea, we're going to quickly remove everything that I was playing with here in the custom landing page, and you'll see how immediate that was. Now, just to go over some of the newer things that are in this editor that weren't in your last editor, you now have your cute little media icons. So if you have different social medias, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, we have these in both color and dark mode for each, which is a really cool addition. As well, you have a cute little emoticon button. So if you want to throw in any emojis, we have dozens of different emojis in this library, so you can really have some fun, go crazy here. As well, we have different uploads now for your media. Anybody that was familiar with our old description box, you had to have a link to upload any images or anything like that. It had to be uploaded somewhere, and then you would just share the link. Well, now you can just drag and drop, and this will upload immediately. It'll take you into your general tab here where you can control the height and width of your image, as well if you wanted to give it a caption, and then just your nice little save button. As well, you have the ability to have videos now, which was great. This was something that wasn't available with the previous text editor. Same kind of dialog box that we saw with the images, right? But you have your embed tab to place your YouTube link or whatever that may be. As well, if you want to give it, an alternate media poster or a different source URL, you can do that as well. A couple small things that a lot of people may not be too familiar with just in your normal, word processing kind of programs. We do have this nice little horizontal line here. So if you want to give it a specific like page break or a separation, nice little quick button in which to do that. As well, your quick table creator, cell properties, and all that good jazz. And then you have your quick buttons here. So wherever you place your cursor, you're going to notice this pop up just in case you wanted to quickly add some media that is available to you. As well, going into some of the customization options that came with this landing page, you have your preset designs and drafts button up here. Now, of course, if you have any drafts, they're going to show down here in its own little draft tab, but we do have some preset designs that we've created if you just want to do a quick insert just to see how it looks and see how things are going to sit. Plenty of different color customizations here, but of course we do have the classic design. This is what you would have been used to in the basic landing page. So we'll just give it a quick scroll so you can kind of get the idea. Any current clients are familiar with how this is set up. And I know you're seeing a lot of these keywords here because there's a bunch of different ones. This is what we are considering now calling a dynamic component. So as you change these things in the different placeholders, these will update live on your landing page. Now, if you just want to add a single component and you want to custom build this away from what those preset designs are, you have that add component button here. And like Chad said, we have 80 different selections here. Each are kind of organized in their own little place. So you've got your headers, announcements, a call for presenters, option, call for exhibitors, a nice little venue information component here. And then of course, all your social media links, contact information, all the good stuff, right? A quick way to insert tables, maybe just a sleek box set type of design. And all of this text that you're seeing here is just placeholders. So all of this can be customized once it's thrown into your landing page. But these are what we call the static components, right? These are mostly just text. You may have a couple links here, some keywords that are referencing your conference setup page. But then we have our dynamic components at the top. And these are those components that Chad briefly mentioned on, where these are going to change as you insert things into your event. So as you develop your schedule at a glance, this will show up and change live. Same thing with your sessions, your maps, your sponsors. As you get more sessions set and exhibitors, maybe you're listing sponsors, the more you put in, the more this is going to show. So with that, I do just want to make a couple quick notices just for anybody who's a current client. Of course, like I said, anyone that had the description box and was using that landing page, it's been moved into your basic. In an upcoming update, what we're going to do is we're actually going to make the custom landing page the default for your landing. So anybody that is still using the basic landing page is actually going to transfer in to the custom landing page. And again, you're not going to notice this change. You'll just notice that this basic landing page button is just going to disappear one day. But everyone will have access to the custom. We just wanted to make sure that there was no interruption in any of our current events, and that everything would just flow smoothly for all of our organizers.